It's week 3 of the NFL season. I've got your touchdown props coming up. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Joel Wirth, and this is the Touchdown Props Show. It's week 3 of the NFL season. We've got 2 weeks in the books, more than a point, less than a trend line. So we got a little bit of a sample size going. So it's time to get some touchdown props in. I've got even half dozen for you this week. Now, remember, before we get into it, this is not gambling advice. You should only make wagers on sporting events and localities where there's legal to do so, and you should never bet more than you can afford to lose. These odds come from the DraftKings Sportsbook, not because we have an affiliation with them, just because it's convenient for me, because I have their app for DFS. So I only make plus money bets on touchdown props. I just think minus money bets are just not a good way to invest my gambling money. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's get on to the props. We're going to start in Carolina with the rookie wide receiver Tedarrell McMillan, not Tet. His mom doesn't like him called that. So we're nothing if not accommodating on the show. We're going to go with Tedarrell McMillan against the Atlanta Falcons. McMillan is a plus 170 to score an anytime touchdown this week. Some things going on here. Atlanta has been a very good defense to this point, surprisingly so. But a couple things going on. They are going to be missing A.J. Terrell in their secondary, their best cover corner. Obviously, Tedarrell McMillan is Carolina's best wide receiver, and he has been the focal point of their passing game. He's got 19 targets through 2 weeks. So he is Bryce Young's favorite target by far. He's a lot better than Xavier Legette. This is not an anti-Xavier Legette show, but man, that looks rough. Adam Thielen got traded. Jalen Coker went on IR. He's really all that's left. So he, like I say, the focal point of the passing game. And Carolina is going to be missing Austin Corbett, their center, and Robert Hunt, their offensive right guard. That is tough for their running game. Like last year, remember, Chuba Hubbard had such a good year because the Carolina offensive line was so good at run blocking. Now you're going to be missing 2 pieces from the interior of that offensive line. It's going to be really tough for them to run, especially against a front from Atlanta. Like I said, that has been very much better than expected this year. So I just don't think they're going to be able to run. I think it's going to be a game script where they're going to have to throw quite a bit. And like I said, Tedarrell McMillan is the focal point of their passing game. So I think he's an excellent bet to score a touchdown this week. And at plus 170, I like those odds. From there, let's move on to the prototype for Tedarrell McMillan, and that's Mike Evans. Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are hosting the New York Jets. Been a tough start for the Jets. Plus 120, anytime touchdown for Mike Evans this week. You could see if you watch the Monday night game, late in the second half of that game, they were really trying to force Mike Evans into the end zone to get him a touchdown. Again, just like Tedarrell McMillan, he's got 19 targets ready this year, hasn't scored a touchdown. Now, the Jets did allow 3 rushing touchdowns last week to Buffalo, but if you remember back to week 1, they gave up 4 passing touchdowns to the Pittsburgh Steelers, to Aaron Rodgers. This is a much better passing offense with Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Emeka Egbuka, presumably. A little bit of an injury there. That might slant the passing offense to Mike Evans. Another reason to kind of like Mike Evans to score this week. So, and remember, this is going to be the first road game for the Jets. So a team that's off to a little bit of a rough start, especially defensively. They're going to be playing without Justin Fields with a concussion. So I think this is an excellent spot for Mike Evans to get in the end zone, again, at plus 120. Like that quite a bit. Another team that is going to be playing their first road game is the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts are off to an excellent start, diametrically opposed to those Jets, but we'll see. Obviously, the Colts play in a dome. Now they're going outdoors to Tennessee so for their first road game. So that brings me to my next touchdown prop that I like this week, and that's Calvin Ridley of the Tennessee Titans hosting the Indianapolis Colts plus 215 anytime touchdown prop. for Calvin Ridley. Remember, the Colts don't have Jalen Jones, their best perimeter corner, the best corner, only corner with any real size. They do get Charvarius Ward back from injury this week. So I would assume they play a lot of zone, right? They're not a real heavy man team, but I would assume Charvarius Ward would be kind of in the area of wherever Calvin Ridley's going to be. But Ridley's got 14 targets this year. It's been a tough slog for the passing offense, for the entire offense, really. Tony Pollard's done okay, but it's been a tough slog for the Tennessee offense with rookie first overall pick Cam Ward at quarterback. But I do think this is a good spot for them. I think that Indy defense, they gave up touchdowns to 3 different Denver receivers last week, and they weren't Cortland Sutton. So I think this is a good chance for Ridley to get in the end zone. Like I said, he's got 14 targets so far this year. Again, he is the focal point of that passing offense. Is it going to be Nick Westbrook-Akine? Is it going to be Chig Okonkwo? Tyler Lockett's a complete afterthought. So, yeah, I think this is another spot where Tennessee is going to try and force a Calvin Ridley touchdown to get him going because they need him. They need him to be a much bigger part of the offense, production-wise. And they need to get that offense running, get Cam Ward off the ground. Now, the next prop, I'm going to be honest, it makes me a little bit nervous, and that's Brock Bowers at the Washington Commanders. Brock Bowers, a plus 150 anytime touchdown prop. This is kind of a bad spot on paper. You get the Raiders coming off the Monday night game. They're going to Washington, so across country for a 1 o'clock Eastern start. It's tough, that's tough on paper. That's tough to do on the short week, but Washington's got the extra rest after playing on a Thursday last week. So a real rest disadvantage there, but Washington looked absolutely terrible against the tight end last week. Tucker Kraft just absolutely eviscerated them. Luke Musgrave got a couple catches last week. The Packers were able to isolate Bobby Wagner in coverage on the tight end, and Bobby Wagner, as good as a player as he has been, he can't run anymore, right? He's a good middle linebacker. He can play the run. He can go run and hit. He can't cover a tight end anymore. There's no way. So Brock Bowers, the best tight end in the league, with an excellent matchup against this is the team that I think we are going to be picking on for tight ends in DFS going forward, right? So we're going to be looking at who does Washington play, who's their tight end. We're just going to pencil them in our DFS lineups going forward. So I want to take advantage of this matchup, and I want to get Brock Bowers for an anytime touchdown at plus 150. I like that line quite a bit. Now, we're going to move on to Minnesota, where the Vikings host the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, no Joe Burrow, no J.J. McCarthy. We get Jake Browning and Carson Wentz. Not the greatest quarterback pairing of all time. Not the most scintillating quarterback battle we're ever going to see. But we're getting Jamar Chase at plus 130 for an anytime touchdown and Justin Jefferson at plus 135 for an anytime touchdown. Folks, I don't care if I'm out there throwing passes. I am taking Jamar Chase and I am taking Justin Jefferson. If I can get them at plus money, plus 130, plus 135 to score a touchdown, I am jumping on that every single time. These guys are too talented. They are too good. And we saw last week, even when Brownie came in the game after Joe Burrow got hurt, he was just force-feeding Jamar Chase, just absolutely looking for him on every single play. So I think that's an absolute smash play. And Carson Wentz, that dude's a chucker, man. He's not going to be dumping it off. No Aaron Jones, right? He's on IR. So it's going to be Jordan Mason getting all the backfield. I like Jordan Mason a lot as a touchdown opportunity this week. But remember, he's not really involved in the passing game. Wasn't in San Francisco last year, isn't at all so far this year in Minnesota. So I love Justin Jefferson here this week with Carson Wentz under center. TJ Hawkins just hasn't been involved at all in the offense. Jordan Addison's still on suspension. Like, who's he going to be? Jalen Naylor? I don't think so. So again, love that. Anytime I can get Jamarr Chase and or Justin Jefferson at plus money to score a touchdown, I am on it. Again, plus 130 for Jamarr Chase, plus 135 for Justin Jefferson. If you want to single game parlay the two of them, plus 450. So that's very nice. You get 4.5 times your money. You put $10 on it, you make $45. That's not bad. just assuming that Jamarr Chase and Justin Jefferson score a touchdown. Chase scored one last week. So I like that. I like the SJP, the single game parlay on those two as well. You want to throw Jordan Mason in? I'm not going to argue with you. I can see him plunging in. He's going to be an absolute DFS smash this week as well. So don't mind that either. If you want to do a full parlay on all these touchdown props, again, that's Tedarrell McMillan at plus 170, Mike Evans at plus 120, Calvin Ridley at plus 215, Brock Bowers at plus 150, Jamarr Chase at plus 130, and Justin Jefferson at plus 135. The full parlay odds plus 25,627. If you put $2 down, make 500. Is that a safe bet? No. Is that a bet I would do? For $2? Sure, why not? You could do worse. You see these guys on the internet, they're throwing down 13, 15, 20 leg parlays for a touchdown for $1 or something like that. That's fun. What else you can do with $2, right? You can't even buy a cup of coffee for $2. So I like that's kind of a fun parlay. And if you hit it, you can just go on Twitter and say, look at what a genius I am. I hit this parlay. So yeah, 25,627 current odds on DraftKings for that 6-leg parlay of Tedarrell McMillan, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Brock Bowers, Jamarr Chase, and Justin Jefferson. That's it for this week. Those are my favorite touchdown props, half a dozen of them for you. So get out there, have some fun, and let's look forward to week 3. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm Joel Wirth. You can find me on Twitter, on the Blue Sky, at the Joel Wirth. You can find me here every week on the DFSG podcast, talking with Mark Salino about statement games, previewing the Thursday night game. And you can find me on the DFS show with Johnny Freakin' Fantasy every week, previewing the DFS slate early in the week. That's it for this week. Get out there. Enjoy the touchdowns. Enjoy week 3. We will see you next time.